Lights, check. Camera, check. Action, check. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, what's going on? Welcome back to another episode of Hyper Bitcoinization. My name is Spike. And hey, listen, first off, I got myself a little michelada is what the can said. I forget what the company was. So let me try this out real quick. If you've got one, join me. Otherwise, let's get into some corn action. So I do want to say right away before we kind of get started with the Bitcoin video, I appreciate you guys coming to check out the content. Here is the channel. And if you wouldn't mind if I've provided you with any value or anything like that, I hope that you guys could like, subscribe, hit the bell notification. That way you see when I have other videos come out. But hey, look, share this. If you see a video that's cool and you got to share something with friends, family, the person you've been trying to orange pill for a while, I hope that you could use some of my content. And if you can't yet, please comment below what kind of videos you need for me to create so that you can use my content to share with others. So, getting out of that, we'll bring you back this way. It's a pretty wild morning, right? So, Bitcoin did at one point today, this morning, go above $70,000. So this would be the second time that we hit a new all-time high this week, right? I think it was Monday or Tuesday, and then it was today. And they were both brief little seconds. And then what happens? Well, Coinbase crashed. Earlier this week, and then Coinbase crashed today. So, could there be some comparison there as far as why the price dropped right after that all-time high? Maybe, but we have put in an all-time high twice in the first week, in this week. So you could say that Pomp is true. I'm going to play Pomp's video for you real fast about what he said on CNBC.
Joining us now is Anthony Pompliano, a founder of Pomp Investments, and it's kind of a fool's errand to ever try to figure out where Bitcoin is headed. But just in terms of things that are on the horizon, we got the halving coming up. We've had the ETF that was recently, spot ETFs are now becoming more mainstream. And how long has it been? Has it been 2 months? It'll start maybe a little bit slow, but then it's been like kind of a rocket ship.
If you look over the last 60 days and in the next 60 days, I think there's two big stories. The ETF approvals obviously were a huge deal. BlackRock alone has $11 billion in their ETF. They added $1 billion just in the last day. And so these are massive inflows for just one fund. There's 11 of them. And so obviously there's tons of money coming in, about 12 times more demand for Bitcoin than what the network is producing every single day. But also, as we near this record high, if we go back and we look at past record high breaks, or if we eclipse the old all-time high, 3 of the 4 times, Bitcoin doubled in 18 days or less. And so if you think about that for a second, once you break through an all-time high, it's price discovery. What is this thing worth? The world is going to try to figure that out. And 3 of the last 4 times, in 18 days or less, it doubled in price. You add in the fact that we have the halving coming, and we're going to go from 900 Bitcoin a day coming into the supply to 450. And it's very hard to make an argument that Bitcoin is not going much higher and at a faster pace than we all expected.
I mean, when you do the math, I feel like I need to say that past results are not indicative necessarily of the future, because it just sounds that anyone at home would if they're totally new at this game, they might mortgage their house and put it all in Bitcoin. And there is still risk in the asset, is there not?
I definitely don't think that they should do that, right? If you go and you ask most people in the Bitcoin world, they will tell you higher percentages than you would expect in terms of what they've put in. But I think 1 to 5% for a traditional portfolio ends up making sense.
But you just made a case for going from 70 to 140 in 18 days. I mean, that sounds like things that you hear on TV where you just want to really stay away from.
Bitcoin's up 20% in the last week. It's up 60% in the last month. And it's up 200% in the last year. I'm not saying it's going to 140,000. What I'm saying is 3 of the last 4 times, it doubled in 18 days. And with a halving upon us, it's just hard to not say this is likely to go much, much higher. And so what I think also we start to pay attention to here is, look, there's 3 main new buyers that are now going to come into the market. The first is public pension funds, right? We had a fund. It was anchored by 2 public pension funds in Fairfax County. Catherine Molnar and Anthony Speller were the CIOs there. And they're up 12x on their exposure to Bitcoin in that fund. And so when you see that, you say to yourself, wait a second, there's only 4 funds last year in all of state public pension funds that were fully funded. If they all went and put 1% in Bitcoin, there's a very strong possibility that a number of those funds would get back to fully funded status over the next 10, 15, 20 years. On top of that, you got sovereign wealth funds. They've been very quiet right now. There's now ETF opportunities for them. They don't have to go buy Bitcoin and potentially take the risk of the geopolitical backlash. They can simply go get the exposure without actually holding the Bitcoin. If a sovereign wealth fund comes out, especially a major one, and says, we've bought Bitcoin and it is a material percentage now of our portfolio, I think that there will be a global race between countries.
Do you think gold is up in sympathy with Bitcoin? I mean, why is, or is there
inflation?
The 34 trillion, inflation is coming down. Is it 34 trillion? Is it the number? Is it the amount of debt and how quickly it's growing that has Bitcoin and gold both strong in recent sessions or in recent months?
If you go and you look, one of the critiques of Bitcoin was it was a zero interest rate phenomenon, right? Oh, if rates are down, Bitcoin's up. Yeah. If rates go up, Bitcoin comes down.
They haven't come down.
Well, rates are up and Bitcoin is back to an all-time high. Stocks are up, et cetera. So what Bitcoin has become is a index for global liquidity.
All right, so we're back, and he didn't lie. We did create a new all-time high within the next 18 days, right? So, all right, let's look at a little bit of the charts real quick and see what is going on right now, what the chart looks like going forward for, the short term. And I kind of want to talk to you guys about a little bit of trend, something that I've been seeing, what my takeaways are over so far this cycle from previous cycles. So this was the 5th, right? This is when we hit that all-time high. And for me on this, by the way, I'm using Bitfinex on the exchange. So the old all-time high was this yellow line, and it didn't quite touch it on this exchange. On the other ones, it did. So this was our all-time high moment here, and we had a massive dip. It was actually, if you look at the daily candles, we did have that God candle. We got our $10,000 candle. It was to the downside, not to the upside. So we will continue to be patient and wait for that. But we went all the way from 69,000 down to, that goes farther, down to 59,000. So $10,000 wick. I could have drank out of this since it was made at $58,000 when that happened. So massive dip. And that was all within 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 hours. So if you look at the candles, $10,000 candle to the downside, took 5 hours if you're looking at it on the hourly chart. But we came back up. We started come back into this ascending triangle here that we had. So it regained its position, kind of played out that triangle. We had a breakout here. We came and retested, went up again, came and retested, went up again. That was this morning when we broke this all-time high. We did touch 70 grand. We came back down to that ascending triangle, retested it, and since have been back up. So we continue to kind of bounce around. We're consolidating in this range, anywhere from 66 to 68 is kind of where we've been floating around, which is a good thing. That's a good sign. The even better sign is that, we got this, call it a flash crash, if you will, down to that $58,000 level, and we regained our traction to get back up, and we're kind of just hanging out right now. So, with this hourly chart here on the Bollinger Bands, they are getting tight. As you typically know, when Bollinger Bands get tight, some sort of serious move is going to happen. And this is just the hourly. It's not the 4 hour. It's not the day, anything like that. So, as far as the hourly comes here in the short term, we could see some pretty wild price movement. Now, getting away from the price, let's just refresh this time chain calendar. If you don't have this yet, it's easy to get on your phone. I even saved it as like an app. One of the things that are just on my home screen that I can check every single day. So, having countdown, it's officially saying about 42 days and 23 hours. So there's 6,186 blocks left until the next Bitcoin halving, which was expected to be April 20th. Probably now thinking, maybe April 19th, a day or so ahead, unless it gets a little bit crazier. So right now, the average block time is 9 minutes and 34 seconds, a little bit slower than Satoshi's 10-minute target. And sats per dollar right now, 1,465 sats per dollar. So, awesome little thing here, and then until the next difficulty adjustment, it's 810 blocks. That is every 2,016 blocks. If we're going to check coin market cap real fast, we see that the entire crypto market cap is 2.59, call it $2.6 trillion worth of money. Bitcoin dominance 51.9%, Ethereum 18.2, shitcoins of all of the rest. So Bitcoin itself has $1.3 trillion in market cap. Do you know how much market cap gold is? Gold has $10 trillion in market cap. So Bitcoin is a tenth of the way of what gold is doing right now. And over the next, call it couple of years, I'm guessing next 3 to 5 years, I would assume we see Bitcoin crash that. And either gold leaves from that market and comes over here to Bitcoin, or Bitcoin completely just erodes everything else slowly but surely. And then we pass gold. And I don't think that by the time we pass gold, I don't think that's hyper-Bitcoinization moment, by the way. I think we're getting close to it at that point. And at that point, Bitcoin will be the most wealthy thing in the world. Right now, it's ninth. So we just passed silver. But yeah, a lot going on here, guys. So really cool stuff. And I'm going to bring you back this way for 1 second. And I want to kind of explain to you what the difference is that I have been seeing from this cycle from other cycles. So this will be my third halving that I'll get to experience here in this next few months. And so far, this is going to be the very first time that the Bitcoin price hits a new all-time high. Not once, but twice in 1 week before the halving. Typically, Bitcoin has never reached an all-time high before a halving. So that's a first for us. 2, we have seen a lot of crazy momentum so far. And of course, that's because of the ETFs and the amount of the money that they are accumulating so far. What Bitcoin did in 7 weeks with the Bitcoin ETFs took gold 3 years to do. Okay, and what was it, Tuesday? Tuesday, BlackRock ETF added a record 12.6 thousand Bitcoin. That's wild. 12.6 thousand and 900 were created that day, right? So look at the demand there just from BlackRock. And we've talked about this before with just the amount of demand that the ETFs are bringing. Talk about nation states. Last night I was at Bitcoin meetup, and there was a lot of conversations flowing. One of the conversations I had, a gentleman asked me if he thought another nation state was going to adopt Bitcoin this year. To be honest with you, we're very early in the year. Seeing what Bitcoin has done with these ETFs is going to encourage more countries to do this ETF thing exactly the same way. Other countries do also have ETFs currently. Some of them had some before we had ours. And this is just going to be a stair tower of opportunity, right, of countries creating more ETFs around this and countries adopting Bitcoin as their native currency. So we will see that, especially as inflation increases. There's some other worldwide issues that are going on and problems across different countries. So we will definitely see that come into play. MicroStrategy, of course, buys more Bitcoin, right? And he was not lying when he said he's going to continue to buy the top. I mean, it's the top right now. And this week, he definitely bought some more through MicroStrategy. I'm sorry, I keep seeing like a hair or something from my dog. But so yeah, guys, demand is there and supply is not. And I think that's why Coinbase probably continues to go down. I mean, it's a ton of momentum. ETFs are using Coinbase to hold their coins, right? They're not using cold storage. They're using Coinbase. Coinbase, of course, is using the cold storage behind that. But right now, Coinbase is doing a lot. So when you see Coinbase go down or you see Bitcoin hit an all-time high, go check Coinbase. If Coinbase is like not working, you're probably going to expect the price to fall down. If Coinbase is working, who knows? Maybe it's a matter of time at this point because it doesn't seem like they can get the grasp on keeping Coinbase alive while the bull market is continuing to run. So, hey, with price being where it's at right now, I do see it maybe touching that all-time high again soon within the next, probably within this weekend. I do want to continue to push out and let you guys know that cold storage is the only way to hold your coins, right? Not your keys, not your coins. If you haven't heard that yet, there's been tons of people who have lost hundreds of millions of dollars, even thousands of dollars, even just hundreds of dollars because their phone gets hacked, right? They got a hot wallet on their phone, or they're using a wallet on their computer. It's connected to the internet. These cold storage devices, they're not connected to the internet. Some of them are better than others. Some of them are worse than others. I like Cold Card and I like Ledger, and I know some people are iffy about Ledger, but those are my top two, to be honest with you. There's Trezors. There's a new one that Adam Back came out with, to be honest with you. I haven't gotten it yet. I'd like to. At some point, I'm going to make another deep dive video into cold storage, why you should get one, how to set one up, all that other good stuff. And yeah, so please guys, that's going to be the best thing you can do, because people can hack your phone, people can hack an exchange, and that's the biggest thing I always tell these people who are participating in the altcoins is, hey, yeah, you might make some really good money throughout the bull market, but if you don't sell it at the right time, those exchanges, I mean, think about Coinbase. Coinbase is one of the biggest exchanges in the world. Still, this today got too overheated and couldn't function, right? When you're playing with shit coins and that happens to you and you can't sell it on a certain exchange, you're pretty much screwed, because at the point where you can get into that exchange, everybody's already sold their coins. You've lost your profit. You have not been able to capitalize on the profit that you wanted. So, don't trust exchanges, don't trust anybody else, trust yourself, and use cold storage. It's really easy to figure out once you get there. I understand it can be complicated when you're seeing videos or hearing about it. It's the best thing that you can do if you own crypto. And there's also some people, especially OGs, that would disagree with that point. They just don't trust themselves enough to do it, and I understand that. You got to have a foolproof process. So the process that I have is pretty wild. There's no single point of failure. Got it stamped in steel, and a bunch of other stuff around that, guys. So, hey, anyways, hope I was able to provide you some value today. I just wanted to come in, give you a little quick update. Nothing crazy going on right now, and just touch base, make a video. So I know tomorrow I'm going to get a podcast going. It's going to be more of a beginner and intermediate podcast. No advanced stuff in there yet, but we're going to talk a lot about just the simplicity about Bitcoin, how it works, and what's going on with it, how it can relate to the average person, the average middle class or lower middle class person. So hope everybody has a great weekend. We'll catch you on the next one. Thanks for watching another Hyper Bitcoinization. My name is Spike, and we'll catch you later. Peace out.